Welcome back to Coins Heritage, the channel where every coin has a story and we bring those stories to life. If you're new here and love exploring the history, design, and value of coins from the United States and around the world, you're in the right place. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our numismatic adventures. Today, we're taking a close look at a coin that might be hiding in your change jar, the 1970 Jefferson Nickel. At first glance, it might just seem like a regular 5-cent piece. But this coin has a fascinating history, design details that many overlook, and a collector's market that can surprise you under the right conditions. Let's start with the design. The obverse, or front, of the 1970 nickel features the familiar left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson. Designed by Felix Schlag back in 1938, Schlag's design won a public competition when the U.S. Mint decided to replace the buffalo nickel. Over the decades, his portrait became one of the most recognized images on U.S. coinage. On the 1970D, Jefferson's face is centered with the word Liberty and the date 1970 on the right, separated by a small star. On the left side above his shoulder is the motto "In God We Trust." Below the date is the D Mint mark, indicating that this coin was produced at the Denver Mint in Colorado. The reverse side of the coin showcases Jefferson's Virginia estate, Monticello, a neoclassical mansion that Jefferson himself designed. The building is depicted in a clean architectural style, with the name Monticello directly below it. Above the building is the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. Below the image, the words 5 cents. In United States of America, wrap along the bottom. This design remained largely unchanged for decades, making it a symbol of the Jefferson Nickel series. In terms of composition, the 1970D Jefferson Nickel is made of a copper-nickel alloy minus 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a silvery gray color and durability for circulation. It weighs 5 grams and has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters, with a plain, smooth edge. Moving to history. 1970 was a transitional period in American life. The Vietnam War was still ongoing, but anti-war sentiment was growing stronger across the country. Apollo 13 was launched, and although it suffered a near disaster in space, the crew made it home safely, showing the resilience and problem-solving skills of NASA engineers. At the same time, U.S. culture was shifting. Rock music, civil rights activism, and new economic challenges were shaping the decade. Through it all, the Jefferson Nickel continued to be a steady, everyday coin in Americans' pockets. The Denver Mint struck a large number of 1970D nickels, over 515 million in total, meaning they were never scarce in regular circulation. Because of this high mintage, most examples you find today will be worn and worth only their face value of 5 cents. However, the real value comes from coins in high uncirculated grades or those with striking errors. Speaking of value circulated, examples are common and generally only worth face value. But uncirculated coins, those that have never been used in commerce, can bring in more. In mint state 65 condition, a 1970D nickel might sell for $5 to $10. Higher grades, such as MS66 or MS67, are significantly rarer and can sell for $40 to $100 or more, especially if they have clean surfaces, sharp details, and great luster. Then there are errors and varieties, which are always exciting for collectors. Look out for coins with off-center strikes, die cracks, or full steps on Monticello. Full steps refers to the complete horizontal lines at the base of Monticello, being fully struck and visible, something that's surprisingly rare due to weak strikes. A 1970D nickel with full steps in high mint state can be worth well over $200, with some auction results reaching several $100s for pristine examples. If you're wondering how to sell a valuable 1970D nickel, here's the best approach. First, examine your coin under good lighting and, if possible, use a magnifying glass to check for full steps or unusual errors. If you believe your coin is in exceptional condition, consider having it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Grading authenticates the coin and assigns it a condition rating, which can can greatly increase buyer confidence.
Oh.
Circulated examples, you can sell them in bulk rolls to other collectors or through local coin dealers. For high-grade or error coins, listing them on eBay, specialized coin auction houses, or offering them at a coin show will give you the best chance to reach serious buyers. One thing to keep in mind, while most 1970D nickels are common, challenge for collectors is finding them in the absolute top condition, with sharp detail and no distracting marks. That's where the real premium lies. Before we wrap up, it's always fun to remember that coins like the 1970D nickel aren't just bits of metal. They're pieces of American history. They've been in pockets during important events, they've traveled across the country, and they've been part of the daily lives of millions of people. For collectors, owning one in pristine condition is like holding a perfectly preserved piece of that past. So next time you go through your change, keep an eye out for that small D below the date on a 1970 nickel. You never know, it could be an everyday coin, or it could be one of those rare high-grade examples worth far more than 5 cents. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the 1970D Jefferson Nickel. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep exploring the history and value of coins from all eras, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Coins Heritage. Turn on that notification bell so you won't miss our next numismatic journey. Till then, happy collecting, and may your next coin find be a rare treasure.